Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review here for a movie that I've wanted to see for like 20 years. Back when I was like 10 or 12 years old, right after my parents had split up, there was a channel on TV, not on YouTube, called Bravo, and they had a list one rainy day that I watched all day from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon to like 5 o'clock, I think, or 6 o'clock. Anyway, it was called Bravo's Top 100 Scariest Movie Moments, and this first movie of this 4-film series, I only have 3 of the movies, I didn't know there was a remake, by the way, but it's on YouTube, so that's pretty nice. So, I've wanted to see this film forever because it was on that list, and that list was so cool back in the day. There's so many films like The Brood that I never would have heard of if I had not watched that list all those years ago, and even clips like from this movie that I've seen one time in my life are in my head to this day. And I loved that series show thing. I thought that was really cool back in the day for Bravo to do something like that. And watching those horror film clips on a rainy day of stuff that wasn't just Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason was kind of cool, because I was a horror kid, I was a horror fan, and learned a lot of cool stuff from that thing that I'm still catching up on to this day. Anyway, this movie here is one that I have been so interested in. I didn't know it was a series until a few years ago, but this is the thing. The last time I saw a physical set of these 3 movies, 4 I guess if you count the remake, was a box set at FYE for like $70 or $75. And I was just like, fuck that. I'm not paying that. I don't know if I'll like these. I'm sure these are on like Tubi or YouTube or something if you're looking for these. It's Alive movies, by the way, if you want something to watch that maybe you like 70s movies. I'm not a fan of the 70s that much, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Because it's part of my issue with this movie that I take. Anyway, I wanted to like this, but I didn't want to pay $75 to see it. I found a box set at Walmart recently for $5, like I showed a lot of you in my horror movie haul video recently, and that first film was from 1974. It's kind of well known, but kind of not by people in the horror community. Not many people really talk about it. I don't know if it's because it's unknown or because of how bad it is. But anyway, that's called It's Alive. Like I said, I have 3 movies right here. It's Alive came out in 1974, which I can tell you already, like many 70s films, which is part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of it, it's a slow-ass movie. It's so slow. It takes its sweet time to do everything. If somebody's going to the basement of their house, it's going to watch every single step they take down the stairs, then cut back to their facial reaction as they take the next step, and the next step, and then cut to their foot coming down the next step. Dude, I hate the 70s because of stuff like that. The only thing that really made it out of the 70s that I love, aside from maybe a small film here and there that I'm not thinking of, is Star Wars. That's it. A lot of the other stuff I see from the 70s, never been a fan of, horror films or otherwise. Kind of like that about the 60s as well, but I see more good films from the 60s than the 70s for me personally, in my taste. But that's just me. Anyway, It's Alive. The only thing I knew going into this film was the clip I saw from Bravo's Top 100 Scariest Movie Moments, but also that it was about an evil baby. And I was always curious, well, what happened? Why is the baby evil? Is there like a supernatural element? What is there? I'm not going to get into all that too much, but I do want to tell you the general gist of the plot of the film, at least the premise of it, because that's really all the film has going for it, and everything else is squandered. You know. My eye is super watery, by the way, today. If you see me constantly wiping at my eye, it's because allergies are picking up on all this pollen that is everywhere right now. So I swear I'm not on drugs. It's Alive, right? So a husband and wife drive to the hospital after dropping their son off at his neighbor's friend's house or whatever, because the wife is pregnant and she just had her water break, and the husband's trying to get her to the hospital before the labor pains really, really kick in. So they get there. And for some reason, I don't know if this is a 70s thing or what, but he, the husband, is not allowed much in the delivery room until either right after the baby is born or to be there to cut the cord. I'm not really sure how that works. Of course, I don't have kids either. Maybe it's different now. I don't know. But anyway, the wife goes in. The doctors are having some trouble with her pregnancy. They're saying, hey, this is a big-ass baby we're trying to deliver here. And the wife keeps saying before the baby is born, there's something wrong. I don't know what's going on, but there's something wrong. So we cut away from the wife before the pregnancy birthing process happens to the husband hanging out for like a good 5 or 8 minutes long scene, hanging out with other husbands whose wives either just had a baby or they're about to in labor. And then we cut to a nurse coming to get him. He has a conversation about whether she's Scottish or Irish or whatever, and it just keeps going. We watch him get suited up to go into the room, and when he gets into the delivery room and he walks in with that nurse or whatever, all of the doctors and nurses are dead, and there's blood everywhere. And nobody knows what's really going on. It's a panic situation. The wife is screaming, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" She's kind of delirious the entire film. This situation with the birthing process kind of breaks her brain a little bit, and she's just kind of speaking gibberish most of the movie. The husband is threatening to sue the hospital because the baby's gone. All these people are dead. The media, like they always do, begin to blame the husband and wife, and there's no way the husband could have done it because he wasn't there. But the wife was there, and she's like tied up and stuff. Like she's being held down with straps and stuff during the pregnancy process. But the baby is gone, and people are saying because of the escape route and stuff, it's not a matter, even though the husband suspects otherwise, of somebody taking the child, but more of the child killed everybody and left, and no one is sure how that's even possible. A baby can't walk, a baby can't bite, it doesn't have teeth yet, but apparently this one might. There's a lot of wonder about what happened here and how it happened, for that matter. And then we get to the general admittance, not too long after this concept is set up, that yes, the baby did it. That's pretty much the movie, because most of the time it's just people like the husband, who's our main character here, kind of walking around, meandering, getting irritated with his wife, who's kind of just in la-la land most of the film because of the trauma. A little bit of that, a little bit of him wondering, where is this baby? But also immediately, kind of in a weird tongue-in-cheek way, but not campy enough to make it fun, he immediately goes along with the idea with the cops that we need to kill this baby. Like, it's kind of dark in that regard, but they realize it's probably mutated for some reason, and that it's probably some kind of monster, they just need to get rid of it. Now, it sounds like a fun concept. It sounds like something almost in the vein of like The Toxic Avenger or like a trauma movie. It's not handled that way at all. It is so slow. Like I said, many of you know I'm not a fan of the 1970s in general for film. This movie is a great example why. Outside of Halloween and Star Wars, too many 70s films are way too slow. And I'm not some dumb kid who feels like old movies are boring. Bitch, I watch the Universal Monsters films for fun. I watch black and white horror creature features for fun. I love that stuff. I don't mind slow. I want and mind entertainment value. This doesn't have that in almost any way, shape, or form, whether it be the kills, whether it be the blood and gore. There's a lot of blood in the movie, but not actively. It might be like blood on the floor, blood on the walls. There's a lot of that, but it's not like a gory effects montage. It's not like that. So the film already loses its luster there, but then I was thinking, okay, well, if the baby is really horrific and gruesome looking, maybe it'll make up for that. No. No, it doesn't. The baby, you barely ever get any kind of moment to see. There are shots where I'm convinced it's either a grown child, like an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever, or possibly even an adult, like an adult female with a shaved head or a bunch of makeup put on her, that you would get to see in other shots where the baby's not in the same frame as other people. When you get to see the baby, it's usually either really far away in like a pitch black room and you just barely see something moving, or you're getting a first-person shot of blurry-ass vision that's supposed to be the baby's first person, running around getting ready to attack somebody. There's one scene that can build a little bit of attention with that first-person thing of the husband walking around in the dark in his house. That's kind of nice. I like that scene. But that's about it. Even towards the end of the movie, they try to have this like heartfelt scene, and it's so horrifically stupid and goofy because of the circumstances, number one, but number two, because of this movie it's so slow. Even the ending doesn't make sense for what the rest of the film is doing. I don't like it, and it wasted what the premise was. You didn't pull through on getting to see the baby, and it's like that Rosemary's Baby defense of trying to pretend like it was a really amazing film with such gruesome imagery. Bitch, no. There was nothing there. You didn't get to really see anything. They ripped you off and stole your money. That's what happened with this movie, to me. I've heard that after last night watching this piece of crap, that It's Alive 2 and 3, and maybe even the remake, have more of the baby there. It varies on quality. I think part 3 is supposed to be super campy, like almost like a scary movie type of movie, like a comedy almost, and I'm cool with that. But this is just, I don't know, man. And coming from Larry Cohen, the guy who created Maniac Cop and he wrote that first movie, I just expected better. I just expected more fun, more camp, and if none of that, more gore and fun in that sense, or a gruesome, mutated baby monster. I wanted something like that. I didn't get any of that in this movie. So I left the whole film disappointed. This was my Friday night watch. Usually on Friday nights, for people who don't know, I'll put on a horror film and just kind of watch it, and during the week I catch up on TV shows for my backlog. I watch other things, non-horror stuff, and then I save this stuff like this for the weekends, mainly Friday nights when I have the most time to just consistently sit down, stay up late enough that I can watch a movie. And this wasted my Friday night. I was so bummed about it. But anyway, It's Alive is, it should have been dead. That's what I'm trying to say. Or It's Awful is what we should call it. This movie sucks. It was such a lame-ass waste of my time for an hour and a half. Just a waste of my whole night, basically. I'm so mad about it, but I don't recommend it at all. I wish that there was so much more in here, and there's not. There's just so many missed opportunities with this. I do admit the ER scene is kind of iconic in its own way, but how this movie and that scene specifically, in context now that I got to see it, made it as far as it did on the top 100 scariest movie moments thing from the Bravo channel is beyond me. It really is. Maybe they just ran out of films for the list and they had to fill it up with some filler. I don't know, but that scene was not as scary as people made it out to be, or what I remember it being. So I'm pretty pissed, if you can't tell. Anyway, It's Alive. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts and comments on it down below. I'm going to try to watch all these films. I don't know how fast I'll watch them all. I'm going to be kind of busy for the next week or so. But I wanted to finish them up this weekend. I don't think I can watch all 4, especially if they're as bad as this. I kind of want to get into my summer watches like Wild Hogs and Better Off Dead and Gone in 60 Seconds starring Nicolas Cage. But we'll see. We'll see what else I can get a review for you this week. Of course, Longlegs came out. Maybe that's pretty good. I don't know. Anyway, if I had to rate It's Alive, the OG film, on a 5-star basis, I would probably give it like a 1 out of 5 stars. I was miserable watching this. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, and it's so damn boring. It's just boring, boring, boring. My boy Rambo Raff for Life, on his live stream like a month ago when I was in the chat on that, he even warned me when I told him, hey, I found this for like $5. I was so stoked about it. He warned me, these movies are bad. And I didn't believe him. And he was right. At least this first one is bad. I still think the other ones will be better for me and my taste. But for right now, no. Don't waste your money. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Do you love It's Alive or the rest of the series, or is there at least one film that's at least tolerable to you? I'd love to hear all that down below, too. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching, guys. Again, God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.